¿A dónde está papi?
4:20 Central Time. That's right. It's 4:20 somewhere. I was reading the bio of Nirvana when someone started cutting onions or something. Cobain had such a tragic life indeed. And also, I will second that. He did make a difference. He did make a difference. People like me, people like you guys, both of you were inspired. Certainly, I was influenced by Kurt Cobain's music. Wolfglen, welcome. So yesterday I had to go and pick up the Jeep. One big repair down, one more major repair to go. So hopefully that's the end of that story, and it'll be smooth sailing. Just remember to be there for people and don't be afraid to ask for help. True. Very, very true. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Folks, the usual disclaimers before we get started because we got a few things to go through. Just a little bit. Make sure that you are following here on Twitch. Make sure you keep liking the stream on YouTube. I see you. Thank you. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Consider checking out the merch store, folks. It's brand freaking new. It's brand new, and it's actually pretty freaking awesome if I do say so myself. So consider checking out the merch store if you want to continue supporting the channel in that way. Join the Discord, folks. Join the Discord. Last Saturday of every month, we do movie nights. Usually. This Saturday, or this month, last Saturday movie night will be Dune number 2. So check out the Discord, folks. Join. I saw somebody join yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yeah. I see you, folks. I see you all. And I appreciate you guys joining the Discord. It's a small but cozy place. I highly recommend it. Some new developments on my end. Apparently my Twitter account got got timed out. Apparently my Twitter account got timed out for telling Matt Walsh to die mad. So that was funny. What's the topic? Right now there's no topic, but we will get into it in just a second. Yeah, life. There we go. Life. Counting days till my hubs gets paid, then I'm all over that merch. Well, I appreciate that. Don't worry, we'll start soon. So yeah, my Twitter account got locked for 12 hours for for telling Matt Walsh to die mad. Yep. Don't you think that's something a Nazi would say? I thought the Rebs would. Yeah, dude, true. Freaking clown. Get out of here. Yeah, rest in peace, man. Don't you think that that's what the Nazis would say? Get out of here. Kamikazion, welcome. So, yeah, I told him to die mad because, apparently, he was molding about Tim Waltz. Lots of coping. Lots of coping going on that account. So I couldn't help myself, and, I immediately got locked out for 12 hours. Amazing. Don't worry. I'll be back to tell him he can die mad in a different way, when I get back on Twitter. Breaking news, JD Vance is considering dropping out of the race to become the emperor of the Ottoman Empire. You know what? Is that a double entendre or a play on words? Like a play on words on Ottoman? Was that like a play? Oh, okay, it's a play on words. No, it's a okay, you get an A for effort for that one. You get an A for effort. I like that. That's funny. Speaking of which, before we get started, I have to play this clip, okay? I have to play this clip before we actually get started into the stream.
That is career funded. JD Vance literally wrote the foreword for the architect of the Project 2025 agenda. Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So.
Oh! Amazing. That was electrifying. That was, that was just, oof, A1. That was just A1. Perfect. I wonder why the bot doesn't give you congratulations for doing an emote pyramid. I thought it did. I'll have to look at the settings, because my bot's supposed to give you a congratulations for doing like an emote pyramid. Or maybe I turned it off. I don't know. All right. I thought that was pretty funny. Let's get into it, folks. I think that's a perfect introduction to this video.
And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
Maybe that's not for mods. I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to look at the stream element settings, and see if it does it for everybody or if there's an exception, or I don't know. Maybe you're right.
That's not even counting the crimes he committed.
Oof.
I don't have a whole lot of regrets in life, but I gotta say, I do regret not live streaming the incredible debut from Tim Walz as Kamala Harris's VP last night in Philadelphia. It was amazing. So in this video, I'm gonna break down, or at least show you, 3 key moments from the Tim Walz speech and some Republican reactions. Let's start, in fact, with that. Here is Trump. This was after the announcement. This is before the speech, but after the announcement that
The most radical left duo in American history. Amazing.
Tim Walz was the VP. Trump here. This is the most radical left duo in American history.
True.
There has never been anything like it, and there never will be again. Crazy Kamala is indeed crazy. I hear there is a big movement to bring back Crooked Joe. This is where the wishful...
So, here's a question. Like, what is like what is the impetus or the meaning, behind, Kamabla? Like, what is the origin of that? Because I don't get it. Fal Machina, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Welcome.
Thinking comes in. He follows this up with, what are the chances that Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the U.S., whose presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala, Barack Hussein Obama.
And he capitalizes Hussein. Barack Hussein Obama. It's a racial trope. Her name is too difficult to spell. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. Just racism. Got it. I mean, it tracks. It honestly tracks. First of all, Kamala did not steal Joe Biden's presidency. He is still the president, believe it or not. Believe it or not, Joe Biden is still the president, and Kamala Harris is the vice president at this time. Like Obama, that's where that came from. Gotcha.
Crazy Nancy Pelosi, Shifty Adam Schiff,
Just so stupid.
Chuck Schumer and others on the lunatic left crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination. What the hell is he talking about? This is a bit. Somebody posted a meme. I think I'll plaster it here when I find it. Of Donald Trump clearly wishing that he had Joe
Don Old is what we should say.
Biden to run up against, because this is madness. He is so clearly exposing the fact,
not mad, by the way,
that he does not know how to run against Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Out here just wishful thinking publicly for millions upon millions to see that he wishes he was running against Joe Biden.
Right, because we all know where that ship was going, and it was going straight for the iceberg, right? We all know where that ship was going, and it was heading straight for the iceberg, and now he's big mad that it didn't go that way.
So bizarre. So the campaign also put this out. Tim Walz to be the worst VP in history. Even worse than dangerously liberal and crooked Kamala Harris. He's that bad. He'll unleash hell on earth and open our borders to the worst criminals imaginable.
Wait, I thought our borders were already opened. So are our borders opened or closed? I'm confused. Oh man, this is amazing. Yeah, the Trump-tanic. Trump-tanic. Yeah, imagine if people did that. Just Don Old, that's the only way. My suggestion, well, actually it wasn't my suggestion. I think it was I think it was between like Heat and a couple of you in chat. Unindicted co-conspirator number 1. Okay, that's how we're referring to Donald Trump from now on. Yeah, exactly, John Randa. It's whatever we need to fit the narrative. Exactly. Truth does not matter to these people. That is 100% correct. Truth does not matter. It's just whatever, whatever whatever has to happen to fit the narrative is what the truth is at the time. So yeah, at this time, apparently our borders are closed because if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win the election, then they'll open the borders again, right? There'll be open borders again to the worst criminals imaginable.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. They also went on to release this. Jennifer Bentry tweeting out here: the Trump campaign is attacking Tim Walz for restoring voting rights to convicted felons. Who wants to tell them? I hope they try to use this attack line.
Oh man. Oh no. They don't realize. Or maybe they do, I don't know. Attacking Tim Walz for restoring the voting rights to convicted felons. Real quick, what happened a couple months ago to a former president? What happened? Incidentally, what happened to that former president who is now running again a couple months ago? Exactly. It's how you wind up with Biden simultaneously being a senile old man, while also being a radical leftist mastermind at the same time. Correct.
On Tim Walz, because he could just come back and say, bro, you're a convicted felon. Do you want me to take voting rights away from you? Incredible. Let me get to the first clip here that I want to share from this amazing speech last night in Philadelphia.
He also did something with having tampons and pads in schools, and somehow the right is freaking out too. Yeah, I know. Like, they literally have nothing. Nothing. What are they going to do? Attack him on trying to get food for children? Trying to make sure kids' needs are met in schools? Because, like, okay, dude. Oh wait, before I got freaking axed on Twitter, this magical gem popped up. He also did something with having tampon. Yes, exactly. The cons have a plan. Sure, Biden for false advertising by dropping out. Yeah, sue Biden. Sorry, sue Biden for false advertising by dropping out. Yeah. Yeah, but the wrong kids might get some of that food and we can't have that. Right. Tim Walz has been a leech his entire life. Public school teacher, politician, veteran. The Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I know. No, this is not a joke. This is real. This is the real Libertarian Party, by the way. This is the real Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I don't understand how that, oh. I don't understand how that makes any sense if it isn't just rage bait. Maybe I'm just sensed. No, they literally are just saying this. Oh, not that? Well, those teachers, vets, and politicians all get paid by the government. Right, therefore they are leeches. This is amazing. What happened on Twitter? Oh, I told Matt Walsh to die mad, and I got, yeah, there we go. When did a life of public service become a bad thing? Oh, because, libertarians. I shut off my alerts on Twitter, so I've been free. Tampon Tim, how internet users have redefined the Trump campaign attack on Tim Walz. In an effort to paint Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, as a far-left liberal, which... What? The Trump campaign has chosen to nickname Tampon Tim after a bill Walz signed last year. Yeah, that's why that was trending. The law, which went into effect in January, requires schools throughout Minnesota to provide menstrual products like sanitary pads and tampons to all menstruating students in rooms regularly used by students aged 4 to 12. Wow. Wow, dude. Making sure students have what they need. Yeah. Yeah, how dare he? What a monster! But the nickname may not have pulled off what Trump supporters intended. Minnesota State Representative Sandra Feist, who authored the bill, told Yahoo News that the goal of the bill was to support student health and ensure that any student doesn't have to miss school because they can't afford menstrual products. The Wall Street Journal reported in July that the cost of pads and tampons have increased faster in the few years than the price of food. The average cost of a pack of pads and a box of tampons is $6.50 and $8.29 respectively. The bill was brought to be by students saying that this was something really important to them and it was something that really impacted their ability to get an education. Holy crap. This is really what they're attacking on. This is really what they're attacking him on. Something that the students actually wanted and needed because it's expensive. It's unnecessarily expensive. And he did that. He literally just like the kids needed something and he was like, yeah, here you go. By the way, tampons in school is not a new concept. No, I don't think so. But let them bleed. No, I think the issue is that, you know, they would have to stay home and that was impacting their education, and that was their argument. Imagine trying to learn while free bleeding. Exactly. So, like, yeah, being a decent person apparently is worthy of a Republican attack. They're acting like he's the Lincoln of tampons. They're flailing so hard right now, and I'm loving it. Same. Another 15-year-old emphasized how important it was to remain inclusive, fighting against efforts of Republican lawmakers to amend the bill to be exclusively for female and gender-neutral restrooms. The issue for the hogs is that the products are in the boys' bathroom. Oh, no. It will make it more comfortable for everyone, they said. People can use whatever restroom they want without being worried. What? Making sure that kids are able to be comfortable going to the bathroom, you know, like what arguably like one of the most private things that you would like to just be left alone. Damn. There are a number of states that have already done something similar. Period poverty is something that impacts all students who menstruate. According to the Alliance for Period Supplies, Minnesota is one of 28 states that either committed by law or budgeting for some or both to provide menstrual products in schools. It includes states with Republican representatives like Georgia, Ohio, with Republican representatives like Georgia, Ohio, and Utah. Quote, I would like to see other states follow suit. Once again, proving that the conservatives are way too damn concerned with everyone else's private parts. Yep. Republicans couldn't recognize decency. Exactly. Yeah, apparently that's radical policy, according to Republicans. Trump's campaign spokeswoman, Caroline Leavitt, told Fox News on Tuesday that the bill is a threat to women's health by and encourages gender transition surgeries for young minors. True. Making sure that kids have the hygienic products that they need, regardless of how they identify and what bathroom they use, is apparently transing the kids. You know, when I think of making sure that bathrooms, whether they're for gender neutral, men, women, it doesn't matter. To make sure that the bathrooms are properly stocked with all types of hygienic products. The first thing that comes to mind is I'm going to trans people with this. And this is obviously a threat to women's health. Radical policies. This seems to be the consensus of Trump supporters, providing that easy access to sanitary products will encourage young boys to want to transition. Exactly how that works. Online trolls, I love this descriptor. Not sufficient, but I kind of find this funny. Online trolls like Kaya Rychek, who runs Libs of TikTok, and Cat Turd 2 got Tampon Tim trending with their posts. What could be weirder than signing a bill requiring schools to stock tampons in the boys' bathroom? Make America Great Again account wrote on X. Yeah, I know, John Rando. I don't get it either, okay? It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Apparently having the thought, okay? The fact that there is a tampon inside the bathroom and the boy inside the boys' bathroom just boom sparks the transition. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. You put one tampon in the boys' bathroom, and that's how it works. You just get trans girls. So boys with sisters or moms all must be women now. Yeah, that's how it works. It's just like Jesse Waters. Just like Jesse Waters says, voting for a woman makes you a woman. So yeah. Same flawless logic going on over here. I was a young boy once. The knowledge that pads and tampons existed didn't cultivate any need to transition. Yeah, of course. It's just absurd. Also, wiping your butt makes you gay. Everybody knows that, right? Didn't a congressperson say that? Didn't a Republican or was that like some right-wing clown? I'm actually genuinely asking because I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. Yeah, bidet master race. Exactly. In another post, the Trump super PAC, Waltz is too weird and too liberal. Okay. I question the logic, Vice told Yahoo News. There are a lot of aisles with tampons in many stores, and that doesn't seem to have an impact on young people considering whether they want to transition. So that doesn't make sense to me. Because it's fabricated outrage. This is what you're supposed to be angry this week, conservatives. Yeah. Soon, Tampon Tim became a term of endearment and support, inspiring memes from supporters, including prominent names like Hillary Clinton. I want to say those fit and fresh people. That tracks. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me, Fomashina. Someone like, yeah, the Andrew Tate types, exactly. Some people like that actually might have made comments similar to, like that. Because, like, I swear that, like, I'm not making that connection, that hyperbolic connection for no reason. I know I've seen this. Oh, it's a quote. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, gotcha. That's funny. Aggressively uninformed. That's funny. Vance is campaigning in Pennsylvania. It looks like he's campaigning for Harris. That's amazing. Terrible advanced teamwork. No, this is great. This is great. Man. I'll take it. Yeah, masterful gambit, sir. Masterful gambit. Quote, how nice of the Trump campaign to help publicize Tim Walz's compassionate, common sense policy providing free menstrual products to students in Minnesota public schools. Let's do that everywhere. Exactly. Put it in the work there, JD. Love to see it. All right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we got the gist here. That's amazing that this is all they've got. Does MAGA not understand Tampon Tim isn't an insult? When did a man making sure young girls aren't bleeding through their clothes become a problem? As a former teacher, period poverty is a real thing. As a former teacher, Waltz understands how this impacts educational outcomes, like how he knows how hunger impacts learning. This makes me even a bigger fan of Tampon Tim, right? The kids, the students literally supported this, literally asked for this because it was helping them, and he did it. So, like, I don't know, man. They just keep falling flat on their faces, and I'm loving it. I feel like that moniker isn't going to have the intended effect on women or sane people. True.
Philadelphia.
Donald Trump sees the world a little differently than us. First of all, he doesn't know the first thing about service. He doesn't have time for it because he's too busy serving himself. Again and again and again, Trump weakens our economy to strengthen his own hand.
By the way, no lies detected so far.
He mocks our laws. He sows chaos and division.
No lies detected.
And that's to say nothing of his record as president. He froze in the face of the COVID crisis. He drove our economy into the ground. And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
My question is, are they too stupid, or is it that they blew their financial load on Opera research on Biden, and now they're going broke because someone is skimming donations? Someone? You mean unindicted co-conspirator number one? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I mean, like, it's a cult. It's a cult. For one. So, like, trying to rationalize like the whole thing is not gonna, you know, is there's no point. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did get caught off guard. Could Biden hold really cost that much in Oppo research? It's got to be the legal fees. They're normally very good at the mudslinging, way better than Dems. Well, yeah, Dems generally don't engage in this. Like, Dems launching the whole weird campaign has been like the first thing that they've done. Has been the first thing that they've done in a while. Which is why listening to Walt's roast JD Vance is like, who is this? Yeah, exactly. They go low, we go high in the old adage. It never really worked. Are there, or do they just have a unified message and means to spread it? Yeah. Maybe. I hate that they go low, we go high. Yeah, it didn't work. Like John Rando said, it didn't work at all. They revel in that. And the reason why they're all so big mad right now is because the Dems have actually decided to show a little fight in them. A little fight. And now they're like, oh, whoa. You know? It's kind of like, it's kind of like the same, It's kind of like the same faux outrage that happened when people started making edgy jokes about the Trump assassination attempt. All of a sudden, all these far right people got all up in arms about edgy jokes when they've been doing this for almost 10 years. That's the thing about bullies. They aren't warriors, they're just weak cowards. Amen.
That's not even counting the crimes he committed.
You can see Kamala Harris trying to hold in her laughter at the end there. That line delivered so perfectly, and he has another joke that I'm going to share from that speech that was so good. But
hi, I'm JT, and I made Result Hunter, the search engine for conservatives. Let me just tell you what it does.
I'm good.
First of all, big tech right now is run.
What is a search engine for conservatives? Does it just like put Fox News at the front? I don't understand. We're not even doing anything too impressive. Weird isn't as terrible as fascist. Right, but they revel in that. They revel in that, but like calling them it autocorrects everything to slurs. Yeah, that's the conservative search engine, exactly. Welcome to Simulacra. Fascists they can take. They revel in that one, but like weird, for some reason, because they are weird, it just kind of gets them it gets them caught off guard for some reason. If JD gets off the couch was a pretty good one. Yeah. B-Rad, welcome. Welcome. Probably how when you search something like Trump election, Kamala is the first thing that comes up. True. That's because they don't know the definition of fascist. Huh? Well, that's true.
So
although I suspect they don't know the definition of a lot of things.
I was watching some coverage of this speech last night. This was apparently one of the first times he's ever used a teleprompter. So while he was in the interview process, he told them, hey guys, I got to let you know something. I don't use a teleprompter in my speeches. So you're going to have to teach me how to use one. And he was apparently practicing backstage before the speech last night and just nailed it. The people that are best on teleprompters are the ones where you can't even tell they're on a teleprompter. Like I was watching this speech. I wasn't sure if he was on one. I figured he had to be because there's a lot there, but I wasn't sure because his delivery is just so natural. And he I think he goes off script a few times there as well. So he's a complete natural. He's such a fantastic communicator and really comes across as somebody who is a real person, not your, standard politician that some of the other VP choices that she had in front of her, I think were fit.
Because they're too busy engaging in civility politics, footlong. We've done it. We've pointed it out. We've pointed out how these creeps, look at underage kids. Well, we've pointed that out time and time again, but, yeah. I don't know.
Bit more into that box. Not that they would have been terrible, but
pedocon theory, footlong. We're the left is the one that has been like, hey, actually, these are the groomers, not like accusing them, not accusing them out of nowhere. Like these people have been credibly, like the people that have been accused have credible allegations against them, right? They're on tape. They're literally like recorded, whether it's voice, whether it's arrest records, like, all the priests, the certain right-wing pundits, admitting that he'd bang. Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. Yep. Donnie got a long history with Ivanka and being weird AF. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You have someone here who is more folksy, who is more down to earth. Again, a high school teacher. He had a whole career. He was in the military, a whole career before he even joined Congress. This is just a real person, and it shows through the speech. I'm going to get to, again, more clips from the speech, but I want to just go back and forth with some reaction from Republicans over the Tim Walz pick because they are losing their damn minds and they do not know how to attack this man. This was a funny one from Fox News last night.
Jessica, I have to ask, why did he honeymoon in China?
China.
What?
He's been to China 30 times. That's strange.
Oh,
I find
was
that
he there with Hunter Biden?
Suspicious.
Okay.
What? Oh man, this is actually amazing. Bro went to China 30 times. Suspect. Okay. Got him. It is like watching a clown show. This is literally a circus. We are watching like Fox. Yes, it is John Rando. It is a literal circus. Watching these pundits.
Someone should look into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, here we go. This person did. Looked into it for Jesse Waters. Tim Walz taught American history, culture, and English for a year in China in 1989, volunteering with Harvard's World Teach program. During their honeymoon, Gwen and Tim led 2 high school tour groups there. You mega really have no concept of servant leadership or Google.
True. They probably use this conservative search engine. I heard the Pizzagate and was all that BS, but more realistic version should be called Pizza Gates.
This is a... Look, I know we're talking about Fox News here. I don't expect anything better. But a primetime cable news show, millions of people watching, you didn't think to do a basic search to explain, to be able to explain why? No, of course he didn't, because he knows if he did, then he wouldn't have an attack line here. But this goes to show it's purposeful ignorance. They purposely don't want to know the facts because they want to be able to spread propaganda in a way that comes across as authentic to them. It's disgusting. Here is another...
And like people like that are in right-wing media, they know, like, they have to know what they're doing, right? Because I guess as John Rando pointed out, it's like, it's so over the top. Like, it's... you have to know that, like, what you're spreading is BS. That's right, Fomash. But they're not going to mention any of that. You think they're going to act? They're not going to mention of Trump doing the thing with the Saudis as well. No, they're not going to mention it. Personally, I don't. It's like, but they seem to care about this. Conservatives cannot be seen as weird because the core of their being is that they're normal, and everything that they do, feel, think, and need love must be normal because being weird is akin to being deviant, worthy of it. Oh, is that why? Yeah, okay. You know what? That's a good explanation as to why. That's a good explanation as to why the weird irks them more than just calling them like outright fascists, even though they are. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a good summary, concise summary as to what when they start sounding like they're talking to mixed caps, there some real BS is coming. It does make sense. Weird doesn't get immediately rejected and deflected like fascist does, right? When it comes to lefties, it doesn't matter who they place in there, as they will follow the same policies, it seems. Yes, lefties usually generally follow the same policy. Yes, because left-wing policies are pretty universal. Yes. It seems like, yes, if you put in a more lefty-friendly candidate, then the lefties who agree with those policies will not change. Yeah, of course we'll follow the same policies. Are you saying that we're principled? Pray for good vibes for Oregon and places on fire. Air quality is unhealthy here at 153. Jesus, Echo Resto Dragon, I'm sorry. Here's another one. Admitting the RSNS you pay for golf courses and refusing to show your tax returns. Yep. healthcare, education, what travesties. Wait till you hear this one. Lunches for kids. School lunches. A Democrat glass of water would also try to take more tax money. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Fantastic clip from last night.
Some of us in here are old enough to remember. I see you down there. I see those old white guys. Some of us are old enough to remember when it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make. Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Nice.
That includes IVF. And this gets personal for me and my family. When my wife and I decided to have children, we spent years going through infertility treatments. And I remember praying every night for a call for good news. The pit in my stomach when the phone rang, and the agony when we heard that the treatments hadn't worked. So it wasn't by chance that when we welcomed our daughter into the world, we named her Hope.
It is so wild to see a campaign, a Democratic campaign, actually know how to campaign and frame a message. People for so long have been wanting Democrats.
Yeah, I know. Clown in chat. Yep. If Kamala can embarrass Trump in a debate, it's Jover. Yep. That's why he's being so skittish about the debate. About saying like, yeah, I know. This guy comes into chat every so often. I think he was here the other day. Just whatever. If Kamala can embarrass Trump in a debate, it's over. Yeah, that's why he's being skittish about the debate. He said, no, well, now we got to do it in Fox News with friendly hosts and a crowd. And now he's changing the goalpost again. He doesn't want a debater.
To reframe the discussion around freedom and family values. Who's actually for those issues? You have here Tim Walz. Again, you could not design a more perfect VP candidate to go up against JD Vance in a lab. Tim Walz had children through IVF. JD Vance, in June...
If he doesn't debate her, that's almost as bad. No, actually, it'd probably be a little better for him than not. Because if she does manage to embarrass him, it's... Yeah. It's done.
Voted against...
Goalpost about to hit Mach 2.
The right to IVF Act, which would have protected accessibility and affordability of in vitro fertilization services nationwide. Who's actually for family values? Who's actually for freedom? Let me get to a couple more reactions from the loons. Here is Stephen Miller.
Is a moron, he is an incompetent, he is a radical, and he is going to turn the entire Midwest into a third world state. This is a disaster for America. We have to beat this guy, and we have to beat Harris in November.
All right. Run on that. Lunatics. This is like, you're not beating the weird allegations by having Stephen Miller be one of your spokesmen here. Let's get to Ben Shapiro, who went on a 7-minute rant about the Tim Walz debut. Here's a piece of that.
If you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. You know, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch.
true. Okay. Steve Miller is one of the angriest a-holes on the planet. Agreed. Kamal should just stick a pumpkin with a wig and debate that. There was a story about this lady where the doc killed this lady's baby that she did want when she was delivering it. A literal case of killing a baby right after birth. All I'm hearing from the right wing is crickets. Wow, yeah, it's almost like they don't actually care about that issue. Hey, big bad orange man, are you yellow? He is very scared. He's very scared.
In favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls for a chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering.
Choreographed? It's a political rally. Chants happen. What the fuck are you talking about?
And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me, middle-class person.
But Trump has done the same thing. And they chant USA too.
Or Tim Walz, middle-class person, can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now, I agree with that. But she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz. Tim Walz said, if you go back.
Oh my God. So stupid. Ben Shapiro
They've got
is so
nothing. They've got nothing.
Worked up that you'd think Cardi B dropped a new music video. Like, go back to what you're good at, Ben. Music videos about rappers or from rappers. And is there a new Barbie movie? Has Barbie 2 been announced? I'm sure he'll have a few videos about that. Lunatic. Let's get to the next.
Turns out people make noise when they're excited. Who knew? Shocking. Yeah.
Clip.
Unlike Trump rallies where every audience member stands still looking somber.
From Tim Walz, showcasing once again how he is so good at delivering a line.
Like all regular people I grew up with in the heartland, JD studied at Yale, had his career funded by Silicon Valley billionaires, and then wrote a bestseller trashing that community. Come on! That's not what middle America is. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, see what I did there? You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
Bro!
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Sorry, I had to hype that one up again. I had to hype it up again. It's not like a Trump rally. Trump says hats off and then everybody puts on their white sheets. No, those are for special occasions. The VP debate is going to need a trauma unit standing by.
Perfect. Hilarious. The couch line. Oh my God. I did not expect him to do a couch line. And the brilliance of that line is even if you don't know the JD Vance couch story and that whole meme, you still enjoy the line. Like, it doesn't have to mean anything more than what it was. But if you know the meme, then it's absolutely hilarious. And then, yeah, going back to the creepy and weird, fantastic. Like, the more I learn about Tim Walz, the more I love him. I did my video yesterday where I bring up something that came out recently and came out in the speech as well when Kamala Harris was introducing him. While he was a high school teacher, and this is in 1999. He was the football coach as well, and a student came to him wanting to start a gay-straight alliance group. And he realized that how symbolic, how important it would be if the football coach was the faculty member to support that alliance. Like, this is back in 99, when views about gay people were not good. And he realized how important it was to stand up for these students.
That's so cool. That's a decent human being. That is a decent human being. I see what you did there, Footlong.
An incredible human being. So you could not have picked a better person. Like, I am very happy with this ticket. People should be ecstatic with the choice you have in November. I want to share a few more examples of the loons since it's time to have a good laugh.
Yeah,
So,
that's what this is all about, you know?
here's
This segment.
this is just what. Listen to where the hell this goes because it is so all over the place.
Sounds like my high school principal. Nice. That's so cool.
She goes reflexively.
I've not heard of Walz before, but it's refreshing. I think everyone's just been thirsting for almost a decade for that someone other than Hillary and Joe is running, and the fact that he has no obvious flaws almost makes him seem like a hero. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure that there's, you know, stuff if you dig there, but, like, overall, like, as far as a politician goes, because, like, you know, you get what you work with. You know, you got to work with what you get. And as far as a politician goes, he's pretty decent, like, policy-wise. And, like, his record as being a governor and the policies that he's enacted, I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely better than what we were looking at, or better than what we were, better than we could have hoped for, given the choices that were on the table, you know?
Back to Minnesota because she felt he was loyal. It's been reported on CNN today that he was loyal. I thought they said Trump had a loyalty test. They didn't like that.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting where he said that I'll have President Harris's back if we get elected. What is he comparing that to? Is he comparing that?
He's the VP? I think this is the first time since like the 70s that a candidate without a law degree was on the ticket. Kind of crazy. Wow. What aboutism? Yeah, number 10,000 million bajillion.
To Kamala Harris with Joe Biden? I didn't understand what that meant at all. It made no sense. But it did make me think, oh, is he saying that Kamala Harris stabbed Joe Biden in the back and managed to get the Democratic nomination?
True.
Through using the entire party powerful apparatus and money bagmen to take the nomination away from him and give it to her? Is that what he was saying?
That's exactly what happened.
It was really weird. But
Charlie, yet she...
What the hell are you talking? He gotta lie. Look,
Man, the fabrication of just like reality right before our eyes is actually fascinating.
it went from Wall simply saying, I'm going to have Harris's back to, well, is he saying Kamala Harris stabbed Joe Biden in the back and then took the presidency? No. He's just saying he's going to have Kamala Harris's back as her vice president.
Right,
What
like a vice president should.
Fuck is wrong with you? These people, this shows you they have nothing to work with. This one I love. I always love this attack line because I'll show you why in a second.
This is the most extreme. This is going from San Francisco to here you go into Minnesota, the area that even Ronald Reagan could not win. I mean, this is what's so amazing to me. I served with Tim. We came into Congress together. He's known for being the Bernie Sanders of Congress. But
yeah, let me stop you right there. If you're trying to sell me, on the idea that this dude's the Bernie Sanders of Congress, like, you're just hyping him up. Like you're just hyping him up. Because Bernie Sanders is arguably one of the most popular, if not the most popular politician. Isn't Bernie Sanders the Bernie Sanders of Congress? Well, he's in the Senate. I think that's what he meant. What he meant was he's the Bernie Sanders of the House.
The Bernie Sanders of Congress. The Bernie Sanders of Congress. Why do Republicans think this is a line that hurts politicians? Bernie Sanders voted the most popular senator again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I went to school in Mississippi. It was a miracle just having the teachers not say the N-word. Jesus. That's such a bad strategy, and admit they don't hate him as much as the talking heads project. Right.
This is 2019. 11 times in a row, the most popular senator. You can look up right now. Look up the most popular politicians in the U.S. You will find a list. Bernie Sanders is, I think, 4th on that list, but in terms of active politicians, at the top of that list, because the others like Barack Obama, Michelle Obama may be on there, Bill Clinton may be on there, But in terms of active politicians, Bernie Sanders is the top of that list.
Did you know your searches can save the ocean? Every year, millions of tons of plastic enter our oceans.
Why would...
Exactly. That's why we wanted Bernie-like people. Exactly.
Do you think comparing the Tim Walz to Bernie Sanders is going to hurt him? It's just... These people are so in their own bubbles. All right, here is Trump. Trump on Fox and Friends this morning reacting to the pick. I should have teased this earlier, but here you go.
I didn't see this one.
We know what Kamala Harris's record is, and we know what his record is, and they are extremely progressive. Talk about how you're going to handle this on the campaign trail. Will you just really hone in on how they voted in the past?
I mean, Tim Walz is way more progressive than Kamala. Just a keyboard active says a lot, since most people in the House and Senate ain't doing ish. Extremely progressive.
Well, I am. I'm going to be doing that. What he wants. If you look at his record with no walls, no security, let everybody in, he's worse than they are. You know, nobody.
No walls, no security, let everybody in. He's in Minnesota, bro. It's insanity.
Knew how radical left she was, but he's a smarter version of her. If you want to know the truth, he's probably about the same as Bernie Sanders. He's probably more so than Bernie Sanders. She is more so than Bernie Sanders. That's got to be your guide, Bernie Sanders, and it's not
again.
a great guide. But there's never been a ticket.
Yeah, extreme accordion, classic accordion playing. A nice roundabout way of calling her dumb there, Donnie. Well played. He's letting in all the Canadians who want to pay for health care. Exactly.
Like this is a ticket that would want this country to go communist immediately, if not sooner.
Yep. Man, threaten me with a good time, huh? So, electing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz is it's gonna make the country communist. Immediately, okay? Never mind the fact that she, is the VP and ran with Joe Biden, who's also, obviously a radical communist. But as soon as they swear her in, communism happens. I'm afraid that that's the case. So, even sooner than immediately. Yep. Exactly. We actually did communism yesterday. It actually happened already. It's too late.
We want no security. We want no anything.
Hold on. Immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah.
What's sooner than immediately? Go back in time. They're so communist that they want to go back in time.
Oh man, this guy is something else. Now, us feeds kids, respects people, and pushes for green energy. No!
They want to get a time machine, build a time machine, and then go back in time to do communism back in time so that what I'm talking right now, it's already communism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are we doing here, people? What is this?
Into transgender, anything transgender he thinks is great. And he's not where the country is on anything.
Mr. President,
this is a shocking. Let me tell you, this is a shocking pick, and I think it's very insulting to Jewish people, and I think it's very insulting to people that want security. I think it's very insulting to anything having to do with making America great again.
It is just.
I got nothing, folks. Nothing. None of that made any kind of sense whatsoever. The radical left has actually invented time travel. You heard it here, folks. I just declassified that. We got JCVD out here to stop them.
So mindless, and they keep using
Trump sounds hammered. It probably is after seeing how screwed he is.
Attacking trans people again. Their anti-trans rhetoric is disgusting. The midterms, Republicans were all about anti-trans rhetoric. That was what the first and foremost their attack line on any Democrat. Oh, they're pro-trans, and Republicans lost. And in exit polling, it showcased that in terms of all the political issues, trans issues were at the very bottom of people's lists because guess what? Most people aren't trans.
Someone needs to turn to Trump and deadpan him and tell Trump you're actually trans. Oh, man.
Steve!
In his room. Why?
Which one's his room?
On the right.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep, that's literally what's going to happen, folks. If you vote Kamala Harris, okay, sooner than immediately, okay?
Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon.
Здравствуйте, Dad.
My son is a communist.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate reality of what's going to happen. I'm sorry that is going to be the case, folks.
So why are they going to get worked up over your attempt to take away trans rights, or why are they going to support you because you're anti-trans when why would they care unless they're trans? It's
exactly.
These are bizarre attacks that are not going to work. In addition to be obviously, transphobic and disgusting, they're just not effective. So, I guess to be fair to them, what are they going to attack them on? Are they going to attack Tim Walz and the fact that he gave free school meals to children who are hungry? Are they going to attack him on expanding rights?
I'm voting for Harris to see Susan
Sarandon.
Sarandon.
Attack him on making college more affordable? Are they going to attack him on a tax credit? Where are they going to attack him? Everything Tim Walz has accomplished in Minnesota is incredibly popular.
Right. They can't. That's why they're freaking out. That's why the only thing they've got is tampon Tim. We got they tried to make fun of his weight, I think. I saw on the Twitter before I saw they were trying to make fun of his weight. We need to arrest God for doing forced transitions to zygotes. True.
He's a very relatable guy. He is a normal person. He was a high school teacher. He was in the military for years in a high rank. They have nothing to work with. So this campaign is going to be...
Yeah, they compared him to Chris Farley, another beloved person. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in an attempt to disparage him, they compared him to amazing.
He's so fun to watch because I am going to predict right now Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to continue gaining support.
Yeah, 100%.
Because when you look at Trump and JD Vance, what do you see? A couple of weird assholes. You look at Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
They're trying to get Steve Martin to play him on SNL. Has the American left taken a W? Yeah, I think so. I think we'll take the lowercase W. Okay, out of all the things that we could have asked for, I think that this is definitely a momentary W, because here's the thing. It shows that there's a modicum of hope that maybe lowercase, exactly. We'll take the lowercase W. That maybe the Democratic Party is going to hear, or at least pretend to hear, what we have to say. And you got to take it, I say. We'll see what happens moving forward. But it's definitely in a step in a better direction. Taylor Swift cancels shows because of ISIS-inspired threats. Yeah. Pretends to hear sounds right. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't prove it. But at the very least, it sounds like they're more open to actually listening to the base. And then he can get help anywhere. Just needs to meditate like an American ninja. I saw that, Kamikaze.
There are people there that actually want to help people accomplish things and actually also have that in their record.
Oh, I don't take that bet. I bet you're right. How about that? Just did 30 push-ups before stream. Nice. All right, we're going to have to speed run through some of these. I think we're going to have to do this one tomorrow. Once they're elected, the base kind of needs to do the collective stare until they start pushing good stuff through. Though, yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, by the way, that's correct, Cognizant. That brings up a good point. The old stink eye. By the way, them, like, okay, if they win the election, it doesn't, our work doesn't end. Our work begins. Does that make sense? In the event that, like, they do win the election, our work begins. Because if it's true that they are willing to hear us, then maybe a couple of good things can happen. Can we work on cult deprogramming? That'd be cool. Whew. That is a monumental task. All right, so let's just finish these off because I gotta start heading out in a little bit. So let me finish these. Harris versus Trump. The new poll shows a massive shift for independent independent voters. What a difference 2 weeks makes. A Marist poll out on Tuesday showed a seismic shift in support from independent voters from former President Trump to Vice President Kamala Harris. Independent voters, who often play an outsized role in presidential contests, given the deeply partisan split of the country, went for Harris by a margin of 53 to 44, a 9-point lead. In a poll released by the same pollster on July 23rd, just 2 weeks earlier, Trump led independent voters 14 to 46 to 32. Democrats have renewed enthusiasm and confidence with Harris at the top of the ticket, and the new matchup has ignited interest in the contest on both sides, says Lee Miringoff, director of Marist Institute for Public Opinion. Overall, Harris edges out Trump by a margin of 51 to 48, a 4-point swing from Marist's previous poll when Trump led Harris 46 to 45. The poll was released the same day Harris chose Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate, and a day after Harris formally secured the nomination. So yeah, we'll definitely take an eye, or keep an eye, I should say, on the trajectory of polls. But every time it seems like it's going positive. It seems like it's going in a positive trajectory for the Harris campaign. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I'll be over here crying over the fact that Canada will have a conservative majority for 5 years starting in 2025 because of the Trudeau F-up. Jeez. Yikes. Cori Bush loses the Democratic primary after campaign onslaught from pro-Israel groups. Representative Cori Bush has lost her primary, handing a pro-Israel group another victory against a member of the Progressive Quote Squad. I'll make a joke and bad taste about the deprogram, but if it's serious, I don't think we even took the whole military budget and put away into all medical deprogram. We'd still need 50. We'd still need 50 more. St. Louis prosecutor Wesley Bell defeated. Well, I would say that like once Trump is gone, while the cult may be severely diminished, that's not going away. That's not going away. St. Louis prosecutor Wesley Bell has defeated Cori Bush. NBC projects Bell is expected to carry out Missouri's Deep Blue 1st District in November after a primary that exposed the party's division on Israel, with Bush a vocal critic of the Israeli government and the country's response to Hamas' terrorist attacks on October 7th. Quote, I'll be a progressive member of Congress, but I'm also going to be a practical member of Congress, said Bell. I recognize that we can't get everything done without majorities, and so that means we need to work with our fellow Democrats up there, and when we can reach across the aisle and work with folks to get things done for this region and for this country. United Democracy Project, a super PAC tied to American Israeli AIPAC. The pro-Israel lobby poured nearly $9 million into the airwaves attacking Bush and boosting Bell. Bell had initially been running for Senate, but decided to challenge Bush in a primary a few weeks after the Hamas attacks on Israel. And the massive funding made the primary one of Tuesday's highest-profile races, as voters in Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, and Washington voted for nominees in congressional races. While Bush's criticism of Israel drew millions of dollars into the race, the candidates launched other attacks against each other. Bell argued that Bush has not been an effective congresswoman, pointing her votes against the bipartisan infrastructure package and child tax credits. Bush, meanwhile, focused her closing argument against Bell about the failure to bring charges against a police officer who killed 18-year-old Michael Brown in 2014, featuring Brown's father in her final ad of the race. The fallout from Brown's killing propelled both Bush and Bell's career. Bell as a prosecutor focused on police reform, and Bush as a BLM activist. Bush indicated that she may not be disappearing from political life. One thing is, I don't go away, Bush told NBC News over the weekend, noting that she made an unsuccessful run for Congress before her primary victory against longtime Democrat Representative William Lacey in 2020. Quote, the thing is, it's not about me. We do have a Medicare. So do we have a Medicare for all right now? No. And so what happens on August 6th is not going to be delivered that day, she added. So then that means I still have to work for those things. I'm in the community and I'm trying to change I'm trying to have change for the community, and I won't stop just because of a title change. Nice. Bush wasn't the only Democratic incumbent facing a primary Tuesday, but she was the only one who lost. Representative Sheree Tanner, who won his primary against Detroit City Council member Mary Waters, NBC News projects. The Tuesday primary also sets the general election in Michigan Senate race, with Democratic Representative Elisa Slotkin and former Representative Mike Rogers winning their primaries. Michigan will be crucial in the battle for Senate and the White House. Slotkin and Rogers were their party's frontrunners heading into Tuesday's primary. Slotkin, a prolific fundraiser, spent more than $15 million on the race, defeated actor Bill Harper in the Democratic contest. Rogers had former President Trump's endorsement and had some of his top GOP opponents end their campaigns before the primary. Rogers defeated former Representative Amash to win the Republican nomination. The Michigan CIA Slotkin. The Michigan race is expected to be one of the most competitive in the country. President Biden won the state by less than 3 percentage points in 2022. Slotkin's race also opened up her competitive 7th district, and the parties had coalesced around 2 former state senators, Republican Tom Barrett, who lost a close race to Slotkin 2 years ago, and Democrat Curtis Hurdle. Democratic State Senator Kristen McDonald-Rivet and Republican Paul Judge won their respective primaries in Michigan's competitive 8th district, NBC projects, setting the matchup in the open seat contest to replace retiring Democratic Representative Dan Kildee. Judge is a former criminal prosecutor and TV news anchor who served in Trump's administration and had Trump's endorsement in the primary. Judge also ran against Kildee in 2022 and lost by 10 points. In another House battleground, Republicans picked physician Parsoneth Reddy to take on Democratic Representative Sharice Davids in Kansas' 3rd District. Davids has built up a financial advantage with nearly $2.8 million in her campaign account ahead of the primary, while Reddy has $696,000 in the account. And in Washington, Democratic Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez will have a rematch against Republican Joe Kent. The AP projects Kent is a controversial Army veteran who lost to Gluesenkamp-Perez Perez by 1 percentage point in 2022. Kent, who has faced allegations to his ties to extreme groups, had Trump's endorsement in the primary. That tracks. And defeated Kamas City Council member Leslie Lawwell for the GOP nomination. The 3rd district is a top target for Republicans, as Gluskin-Camp Perez is one of 5 Democrats representing districts Trump won in 2020. The matchup is also set in Washington's competitive 8th district, the Democratic Representative Kim Schreier facing off against Republican Carmen Goers, a commercial banker. Former State Attorney General Derek Schmidt won the GOP primary to replace retiring Republican Representative Jake LaTurner in Kansas's red 2nd district. The AP projects Schmidt got a boost from Trump's endorsement from an outside group, Conservatives for American Excellence. It's one of several Tuesday primaries in which Trump endorsed, including one in Washington featuring a rare Republican who voted to impeach him and is still in Congress. Representative Dan Newhouse faces a new pair of Trump-backed challengers in their all-party top 2 primary. Trump also notched a win in Missouri's deep red 3rd district, where Senator Bob Wander won the Republican primary to replace retiring GOP Representative Blaine Luetkemeyer. The primary has attracted millions of dollars in outside spending. The Conservative Club for Growth Action has backed Onder, while two establishment groups active in other GOP primaries, Conservatives for American Excellence and America Leads Action, have launched attacks against him. Meanwhile, Missouri Lieutenant Governor Mike Coey won the GOP primary for governor in his state. The AP projects Trump hedged his bets in the race, endorsing Coey and the 2 other top contenders, Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft and State Senator Bill Eigel. Keogh will face Democratic State Senator Representative Crystal Quaid in November, but Republicans are expected to retain control of the governor's mansion. Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. Unfortunately, Cori Bush did lose her primary, but hopefully she decides to maybe run again or run in some other capacity. In any case, that's pretty upsetting. That's unfortunate. We got 2 more articles, folks. Republican activist becomes first person convicted in Arizona fake elector case. A Republican activist who signed a document falsely claiming former President Trump had won Arizona in 2020 became the first person to be convicted in the state fake elector case. Like, this is just so wild that we're watching this happen, or we're keeping track of these cases as they happen, that these people genuinely tried to overturn the election. It's just wild. Lorraine Pellegrino, a former president of the group Awataki Republican Women, has pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge of filing a false document. Arizona Attorney General's office, Richie Taylor, said Tuesday, declining to comment further. Still, court records showing Pellegrino was sentenced to unsupervised probation. Before the plea, she faced 9 felony charges. 17 other people have been charged in this case, including 10 other Republicans who had signed a certificate saying they were duly elected and qualified electors and claimed Trump had carried Arizona in the 2020 election. President Biden won Arizona by 10,457 votes. Joshua Colsert, an attorney representing Pellegrino, said in a statement that his client has accepted responsibility for her actions. Lorraine Pellegrino's decision to accept the plea to a lesser charge reflects her desire to move forward and put this matter behind her. Yeah, but also it's incredibly important to never forget that these people did this. And these people admitted to this. It's not like the actual repercussions are very milquetoast. But the point is, she admitted to it. This happened. This didn't just happen in Arizona. It happened in several states, key states, where they hatched this plan to shoehorn fake electors to overturn the election. And this is not speculation. This is not exaggeration or anything of that nature. They're admitting it because they're taking plea deals so that they don't end up with felonies. Sorry. Although that's kind of apt, to be fair. But anyways, on Monday, former Trump's campaign attorney Jenna Ellis, who worked closely with personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, entered a cooperation agreement with prosecutors who have asked for charges to be dismissed. The remaining defendants, including Giuliani and Trump Presidential Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, have pleaded not guilty to conspiracy, fraud, and forgery charges. Pellegrino and 10 other people who have been nominated to be Arizona's Republican electors had met in Phoenix in December 14th of 2020 to sign the false document. A 1-minute video of the signing ceremony was posted on social media by Arizona Republican Party at that time. This is wild. It's not just like these, couple of individuals. It's the Republican Party. It's the Republican Party who participated in this. I mean, in a sane and normal circumstance, like, I would argue that, like, some serious guardrails would need to be put in place, and maybe limiting the ability of the Republican Party to operate also would be cause, since you just can't have that. Like, democracy can't operate when one of the major parties that control politics in this country is engaging in that manner. Like, we just can't have that. Yeah, it is the Trump party. That's right. It's not like the key person in the fake elector scheme is currently Speaker of the House or anything. Oh, wait. That's true, though. And you know what? Is any repercussions going to happen? No. Probably not. Probably not. The document was later sent to Congress and the National Archives, where it was ignored. Lawmakers went on to certify Biden's win over Trump during a proceeding that began on January 6 and was delayed after the insurrection. Prosecutors in Michigan, Nevada, Georgia, and Wisconsin have also filed... Yeah, exactly. The repercussions could be doing it again and being successful. That's a scary thought, huh? That, like... That is absolutely a plausible course of action that these people could actually do, and have done, or rather, these people could do again. Yeah. Arizona authorities unveiled the felony charges in late April. Overall charges, prosecutors in Michigan, Nevada, Georgia, and Wisconsin have also filed criminal charges to the fake elector scheme. Ellis, who is also charged in Georgia, pleaded guilty to a single felony charge of aiding and abetting false statements and writing. Arizona authorities unveiled the felony charges in April. Overall, the charges were brought against 11 Republicans who submitted the document falsely declaring Trump had won Arizona. Five liars. I mean, yeah, same. 5 lawyers connected to the former president and 2 former Trump aides. Trump himself was not charged in the Arizona case, but was referred to as an unindicted co-conspirator. There we go. Unindicted co-conspirator number 1 in the indictment. He is facing state charges in Georgia and federal charges in Washington, D.C., stemming from the alleged scheme to subvert the transfer of presidential power after the 2020 election. The former president and 2024 Republican presidential nominee pleaded not guilty to all charges. Yeah, we'll definitely keep hammering that down over and over again. Folks, if you're in the state of Georgia, please pay attention. Or if you know somebody in the state of Georgia, please pay attention, or please let them know, because this is important. Georgia State Election Board passes new rule allowing county boards to demand more information before certifying an election. That's right. They're trying to mess around with the Georgia election, because they got big mad that they couldn't get the 11,000 votes or whatever. Georgia's state election board passed a new rule ahead of the November election that will give county election boards the authority to demand more information including the ability to conduct inquiries before certifying the election results. So just off that, so in theory, they could just keep doing inquiries before they certify the results, right? The rule change comes 91 days ahead of the presidential election, something that was of concern to the board's lone sitting Democrat, Sarah Tindall-Ghazal. Georgia Democrats like Ghazal say the new rule could potentially delay certification of the results in the upcoming general election if a county's election board chooses to do so. Quote, the actions by the Georgia State Election Board today threaten Georgia's time-tested checks and balances that we rely on for fair, accurate, and secure election results. Georgia has already has a rigorous process in place to verify, count, and review every ballot and audit those results prior to certification, said Voting Rights Lab co-founder, Chief Operating Officer Sam Tarazi in a statement. Georgia's rigged now. It's going to be hard to get a fair deal now. This is pretty freaking concerning. No doubt about it. Because they could basically say that they can contest or they can basically put a bunch of inquiries to delay the certification of the election, giving the presumption that something's wrong. And not good. Not great. Not great at all. Tarazi said the rule could result in unknowable delays in future elections at the behest of a single individual. Adding, quote, it flies in the face of strong checks and balances that have been in place for Georgia's elections for decades. The vote passed 3-2 with board chairman John Fervier crossing party lines to vote alongside Ghazal to oppose the rule. Fervier was appointed as a chairman by the board by Georgia Republican Governor Brian Kemp earlier this year. Tack Jansen, welcome. Welcome back, I should say. During the heavily attended public hearing on Tuesday, the board also passed in a 3-1 vote along party lines a motion to increase the number of poll watchers who are allowed to observe the tabulation process in Georgia's 159 counties. It also unanimously voted against a renewed effort to introduce new rules for hand-marked paper ballots in time for November's election to prevent possible vulnerabilities. The hearing proved an animated scene with supporters of former President Trump in attendance, cheering on public comment and the eventual vote supporting the rule changes. So I've said this plenty of times. I've said this plenty of times, but when it comes to these so-called election integrity rules, the first question that you need to ask is where are the issues? Did Georgia have any significant issues with the election that required any type of inquiry or had any evidence of serious tampering that were threatening to change the results? No, the answer to that is no. So then the follow-up question is why are you proposing solutions to problems that don't exist? It sounds like you're just trying to put roadblocks, is what it sounds like. During his rally on Saturday, Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, offered his support for the 3 previously low-profile Republicans on the 5-member board. The name check renewed concerns among Democrats that the Republican majority state election board is inserting partisanship into politics. Yeah, it's exactly correct. Among those Trump mentioned by name was Dr. Janice Johnson, whose board work he recognized, drawing an ovation from the crowd. Johnson was met with loud applause from some in the room during Tuesday's meeting when she said she thought the board should be able to see every single document in the election. Republican board member Jenny O'King, who also voted for the rule, argued that county board members should not need to sign a document to certify results and should be allowed to review documents if they have outstanding questions. Ahead of the meeting, King told CNN that the board's consideration of rule change ahead of the general election is being done in good faith. Nah, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Quote, this is protecting all voters and making sure I'm doing the right thing. I'm appreciative of the president's support, but I'm not working on behalf of anyone. Sure, whatever. She said the critics who are worried about potential interference by Trump campaign is laughable. Saying our name and saying we're doing a good job doesn't mean anything. It just means we're doing a good job in his eyes. No. No, that's not how that works. The question is, why do you think he thinks you're doing a good job? Okay? Because you're fixing it in his favor. And by fixing it in his favor, you are what I mean by that is you are essentially giving the possibility to make elections not to cast doubt on elections when there's no need for that, right? Because the moment one of these counties, one of these Trump counties say like, oh, whoa, we need to do inquiries, it immediately casts a doubt on the election results immediately, whether there is anything to even whether there is anything to that or not. And that's super freaking dangerous. You can't do that. That's not okay. Unless there's some serious evidence that something's going on, there's no need for this. This rule is this rule is BS. It doesn't make any sense. State Representative Sam Park, the Democratic minority whip, criticized the board, saying it is using politics to potentially disrupt certifying the election results. 100%. That's exactly what this is about, and therefore casting a shadow or casting a doubt on the results. Quote, the certification rules directly conflict with Georgia law, which states in multiple places that local election board officials shall perform their duties, meaning their duties are mandatory, not discretionary, said Park, an Atlanta area attorney. Ahead of the meeting, Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, who was the chairman of the state boards during the 2020 election, called the panel a mess. His office would not offer any additional comment. He's a mess, King said, reacting to Raff's, he's a mess. Oh, wow, it's cool, nice. The Republican former secretaries of state submitted a letter to the Georgia State Board of Elections on Tuesday, cautioning that recent last-minute rule change in laws recent last-minute rule/law changes and non-transparent tactics like those introduced in Georgia are unhelpful and may lead to additional public distrust of elections. That's the point! And it's not me saying this. This is literally two former Republican secretaries of states. Ghazal told CNN her biggest concern is public confidence in the election, since she said the atmosphere created by entertaining potential rule changes ahead in November could put a cloud of doubt on Georgia's election that would be difficult to overcome. Yeah, and if that rule change leads to contesting and inquiries about results, then yeah. Super freaking dangerous. All right, folks, it is just about past 7 o'clock. I gotta get going, folks. Ooh, my throat's getting a little rough there. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. You guys are what makes this channel grow. Thank you for your support. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget, keep doing what you're doing. Keep liking the stream. Keep showing up. Keep following. I see you guys. Thank you. Keep subscribing on the YouTube. Consider checking out the merch store. If you want to support the channel, consider checking out the merch store. It's pretty freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. Join the Discord, folks. Join the Discord. Last Saturday of the month, we will be doing movie nights. Dune number 2. Thank you, Michael Hasser. Thank you, Heat, for modding the chat. I appreciate it. Folks, I gotta get going. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. If you all, I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya! Thank you, Kamikazeon. I appreciate you stopping by. Hang tight, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.